Thank you very much for spending your time in Hare Krishna land Juhu on this most auspicious occasion of the appearance of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki. So on the other day, in the another choice program, many of the choice Raipur devotees were there. We had another, that was on Sunday. Sunday. How many were there? Sunday we had a Raipur devotees were there. So we discussed Lord Chaitanya's Sikshashtakam prayers. We just discussed the first verse, Cheto Darpana Marjanam. So today, on this auspicious day, we will discuss few more verses from Lord Chaitanya's teaching, which can be very useful for our practice of Krishna consciousness. So, in the first verse, Cheto Darpana Marjanam, Lord Chaitanya discusses about how the consciousness, our consciousness, which is contaminated over a period of millions and millions of lifetimes, and that has to be cleansed. Cleaning process, the very first thing to be done. And Lord Chaitanya also describes how chanting the holy names of the Lord is the most effective way of cleaning this contaminated consciousness. So, the Lord goes further to state in the second verse of these prayers. Can chant together? Nam namakari bahuda nija sarva sakti tatrarpita niyamita smaranena kala etadrishi tava kripa bhagavan mamapi Durdaiva-midrisamiha janinanuraha. Translation. My Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, in your holy name there is all good fortune for the living entity, and therefore you have many names such as Krishna and Govinda, by which you expand yourself. You have invested all your potencies in those names, and there are no hard and fast rules for remembering them. My dear Lord, although you bestow such mercy upon the fallen conditioned souls, by liberally teaching your holy names, I am so unfortunate that I commit offenses while chanting the holy name, and therefore I do not achieve attachment for chanting. As we already discussed, Lord Chaitanya is the teacher taking the role of a student and teaching how to practice. So, here the Lord says, He says in first person, He says, I am unfortunate. Actually it is for us. It's for us. Here, the Lord indicates the names of Krishna. The Lord has invested all His potencies in His names. The names are very, very powerful. But then, our situation is that we are not able to relish that power, not able to taste the holy name. Because, going back, heart is contaminated. Consciousness is contaminated. If the consciousness is pure, you can immediately relish the holy names, how powerful they are. But because the consciousness is contaminated, we are not able to relish. Exactly like if the mirror is clean, you can immediately see in the mirror your own reflection. But if the mirror is not clean, you can't see anything. Even though it is mirror, the surface is completely covered with the dust particles. It will look like an opaque object, you can't see anything. You can't see your reflection. So, this is unfortunate situation. We have something very, very powerful, but we don't know what is its power. We have something very, very tasty, we don't know the taste of it. So, this is because the holy name is so powerful and it is so wonderful that it is even accessible to people who cannot taste it. According to scripture, there are 4 levels of sound. It's not everything is one. There are sound which is made in our day-to-day dealing. So many kinds of sounds. You can make sound like this also. You can make shout and scream and make sound also. This is one level of sound. Sometimes you see the birds are chirping, kick, 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 caw, caw. They are also making sound. This sound is classified in the scripture as Vaikari, material sound. And the next level is called Madhyama, in between. And third level is known as Pashyanti. And the fourth level is known as Para, superior. So let us take this first and last, not so much interesting in between. So the first level, that is Vaikari, material sound vibration, the sound and the meaning, it is different. Meaning is something different than the sound. What you have meant is not in the sound itself. This is water. You may call it water, you may call it H2O, you may call it jol, you may call it pani, you may call it, different languages, all Indian languages, different. It's one object, It's one object, but you named it according to your convenience. If some new language is invented, they call something else, The quality of this is not going to be represented in that sound actually. So, the word, so let us say water. The word water is different than the substance water. Suppose, if I am thirsty, I say that I want water. Nobody is coming and giving me water, and I keep calling water. I keep maybe chanting water, water. Can I get water? If I chant, I'll become more thirsty, isn't it? Because that word water does not correspond to the substance water. The substance water has the quality of quenching your thirst, not the word water. So the word water and substance water is something very different. So by just chanting the name of water or H2O or whatever it is, you won't get the quality of water which can quench your thirst. You can't. This is material. Material sound, Vaikari. So, normally we just utter this actually. Our entire language is based upon all these sound vibes. So many sounds we are making. So all those sounds don't correspond to the substance actually. Same thing applies to many other things also. So this is material. So you come to spiritual side, para. Para means superior. Para. In para, the word and the object, they are not different. The word, the sound that you make of an object, so that sound vibration contains the substance also. That is spiritual, transcendental. So the name Krishna, the name Govinda, Gopala, all the primary names of Krishna, all the names. So there is no difference between the name, the sound. You are making Krishna. There is no difference between that name and Krishna himself. That is why here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, you have invested all your potency. It means Krishna has invested all his potency in his name, Krishna. The speciality of this spiritual sound, para, is that even though its natural situation is spiritual, but it is also available on the material level. The same sound can be uttered on the material level also. That is special. Even though it belongs to spiritual domain, it is imported from spiritual world. The word doesn't belong here. It is not that suppose we gave the name Pani, who gave the name Krishna to Krishna, we must take, no, nobody has given here. It is his name. He has given that name, I am called Krishna, so call me Krishna. So Krishna is the spiritual sound vibration. The spiritual sound vibration, even though it belongs to that spiritual domain, it is those who are not even in the spiritual domain, in the material domain, they can also utter the same word. It is very special because unless something which is materially accessible to us is there, how can we start the process? If suppose Krishna name belongs only to spiritual domain, we don't know about Krishna, how can we start the process? We can't even start. It has to be available. So Krishna mercifully says that even if your consciousness is not pure, even if you are not situated in the spiritual platform, you are not situated in the spiritual level to chant the spiritual sound vibration, still he mercifully gives, okay, you can also chant. You are unqualified fellow, still you chant. What is the difference? The difference is that you may be chanting it, but you may not be able to really experience the potency of the name. Depending upon how clean one's consciousness is, accordingly he can really understand the potency of the holy name. So that makes it possible for the most unqualified person also to start chanting the holy names. Because to start with, every one of us is unqualified. If I need a very great qualification to even start, I may never be able to start the process. So that is why Krishna is so merciful that he made his name, which is spiritual, to be uttered by people who cannot even taste the tiny bit of spiritual domain. Power packed. Lord Krishna has packed his entire power, potency in the name, and he said, okay, chant. And that chanting makes possible that person who is unqualified to become qualified. The most powerful medicine. To start with, one is not qualified. Not qualified. But how to become qualified? Simply by chanting the holy names of Krishna. So in this way, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu states here that this chanting is so wonderful that there is no hard and fast rules. See, the process is supposed to give the supermost result. Supermost result. And can be started with the most unqualified person. It's one end to another end actually. Most unqualified person can start the process and he can get the best result. Something which is very wonderful. Other processes are not like that. Even to start the process you have to be qualified, and what result you are getting is not very great. Exactly opposite. To start with the yoga practice, Ashtanga yoga, you have to be qualified. So many qualifications are there. At the end what you get? very less. Whereas this, most unqualified person starts and he ends up with Krishna Prem. Krishna Prem. So, Lord Chaitanya says, our unfortunate situation is that as we chant Hare Krishna, we are supposed to be relishing the wonderful holy names, but we are not relishing because of chanting offensively. Offenses. The pure names of Krishna has so much potency that it can wipe off all the contamination in no time. The heart, the consciousness. Consciousness can be cleansed in no time because it has got so much power of Krishna. There is no difference between Krishna and the name Krishna. That's what para sound means. Non-different. The name and the object, they are same. So the contamination in our heart is nothing in front of Krishna's holy name. Nothing. One holy name, pure name can just cleanse, what about 1%, the entire universe's contamination can be cleansed. Not a big deal. Krishna is so supremely powerful, and this is one universe is a tiny mustard actually. Isn't it? It's like one tiny mustard. In front of Krishna, it's like in front of you a tiny mustard, you can just do like this, So for Krishna, it is not even mustard actually, it's nothing, it's like nanoscale you can go. So cleansing the heart with the holy name is not a big thing actually, it can cleanse in no time. But the problem is, we don't want to be cleansed because we want to be committed to our offenses. Because that is what we are used to. We are used to. So this is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says unfortunate situation. We are in the unfortunate situation of having the supreme instrument for cleansing and not able to cleanse. You are having some very powerful detergent, but then you are not able to clean your cloth. It's not going. It's not going because of our own unfortunate situation. So how to come out of this offensive chanting to pure chanting, offenseless chanting? Unless we come out of this offensive to offenseless chanting, there is no way of going forward. There is no way of relishing the pure names. There is no way of cleansing the consciousness. So it is something very, very important which every one of us have to do it one day or the other. If not today, not tomorrow, one day or the other. If we don't do it, back to Godhead is a distant dream. We can keep dreaming about it, but then you can't be part of it really. So if we have to be part of it really, then one has to do something very difficult for us to do, but it has to be done. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu goes further to say, Tranadapi sunichena taroriva sagashnena amanena manadena kirtaniya sadahari. One who thinks himself lower than the grass, one who is more tolerant than a tree, one who does not expect personal honor but is always prepared to give all respect to others, can very easily always chant the holy names of the Lord. This is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's instruction how to become humble. Humility. Humility is the greatest ornament of a devotee and most difficult thing also. Not that easy. Because it is something which is different than our conditioned way of living. We are conducting our life in certain way with proper some conditioning. It is something opposite to that. one to think lower than the blade of grass. Grass. Pranadapi sunichena. Suppose you walk on the garden. Garden. So many grass here and there is grown. And grass maybe standing like this. I'm magnifying it, not this big. And then you put your feet on the top of the grass and you walk. Grass goes like that and then, okay. You can't say that, hey, why did you walk on me? Nothing to complain, Whatever comes, somebody walks on it, somebody rolls, somebody even plucks it. Or a cow will come and it will eat it. Hey, don't eat me, why are you eating me? Nothing, he just reminds, whatever comes, even, anybody, anything actually. There is nothing, to complain. It's not a very big tree also, So it's a very insignificant position, so to say. Nobody even really bothers actually. We don't even think that we are walking on the grass and saying, oh my dear grass, I am going to walk on you. So nobody takes any permission from any grass or anything. You just walk, Very kind of insignificant, quote unquote, looks like. More humbler than it. It is not even just equal to. It's not equal to, more. To be as a grass, we don't even know. How to be like a grass, you'll have to be a grass to know it actually. We can't know how it is, but at least you can estimate it. Maybe it's very humble because everything is happening, nothing is complaining actually, More. It's not just equal. More than a blade of grass. Is it a easy thing? To be like a grass itself is very difficult. Then comes more. How much more? That he has not defined. Much more than that. Thoda sa, just little bit, 0.1%. Taroriva sagashnuna. More tolerant than a tree. See, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not even telling as good as the tolerance, as good as humility. No, more. Tree is another example here. It is standing. Suppose somebody goes to the tree and he takes rest under the tree. Tree is not charging anything. He said that, hey, 10 rupiya lagega. No charge. You can rest. And then after resting, you become very strong. Then you can take one branch of the tree. You can break it also. Tree, hey, just now I actually gave you shade. You are breaking my branch. No complaints. You take that branch and make a, you can sharpen it and make a axe out of it. You can have a iron axe and fix it. This is a handle. You can make the very branch of the tree as the handle for an axe. Then you start cutting the axe. Hey, what kind of fellow you are? I gave you so much shade and you enjoyed. Now you broke my own branch and you used the axe and you are cutting me? Any protest? No protest. Tolerant, okay? Heavy wind. Tree is not complaining, hey, so much wind, why it is? He's not telling to any complaint, hey, why are so much wind? Dry season, no water. He's not saying water. Just, as no water is there, it dries on its own, quietly. No complaints. Completely tolerating whatever comes on the way, whoever does it. So, to be like that is very difficult. Now you have to be more than that. It's very easy thing, right? It's like solving a very simple equation in the mathematics. Amanina manadena. Usually we expect respect. And giving respect, sometimes we may. And suppose some respect is due to you and somebody is not giving. Hey, don't you know that? No, you are supposed to respect me. It is foolishness on the part of the other person who should be respected, who is not to be respected. It is more foolish to be demanding respect. We have to think about ourselves first. Unless we are fit, then where's the question? Others we will think about later. So generally, the three things Mahaprabhu is saying here, in the material world, we are opposite of that. The material world, we always expect respect, don't give respect. Here says, you give respect, even the fellow doesn't give it, still no problem. If we can, somehow or other, able to do this, able to do that, Kirtaneya Sadahari, one can chant the holy names always. If one is chanting the holy name always, means his heart is completely pure. All these things try to make the heart contaminated. And chanting the holy names makes it pure. So when one is situated in the state of humility, is a pure devotee who is humble, this is a quality. So when you see a person is humble, you know that the heart is pure. All these things can be exhibited when the heart is contaminated. You don't give respect, expect respect. This is a kind of contamination. No tolerance. Somebody comes and tells something immediately, intolerant, arrogance. These are all cause of our contamination. Now if you have to work on purifying it, you have to do reverse process, You can't do the same thing and try to purify. Not possible. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, the supreme purifying agent is the holy name. And that holy name you'll have to chant always. Kirtaniya Sada Hari. You will be able to do it when this is achieved. This is achieved. Humility. When the humility is achieved, then the purification process is not difficult. It happens like that. When it is purified, then you know what is the power of Krishna's holy names. Now we are talking theoretically. Krishna's holy name and Krishna is non-different. Theory. How it is non-different? That can be relished, experienced. It's not theory always. It is going to be relished. If we can undergo the process that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving here. So in this way, the Lord is giving the conditioned souls how they can actually practice the chanting of the holy name in such a way that he can achieve the ultimate benefit of chanting the holy names of the Lord. So, to do that, to become humble, then certain things have to be given up. Then Lord Chaitanya goes further. Nadanam najanam na sundarim kavitam va jagadisa kamaye mama janmani janmanishware bhavatad bhakti rahaitu kitvai. O Lord of the universe, I do not desire material wealth, materialistic followers, a beautiful wife, or fruitive activities described in the flowery language. All I want, life after life, is unmotivated devotional service to you. In the material world, To be recognized as somebody, you need certain things, otherwise who will recognize? If you don't have any money, even friends won't come to you. अरे उसके पास कुछ पैसा नहीं है. If you have money, then you are known, then money can buy several things. Not everything, something at least. So, if you see, in the material world, people are working very hard for what? Money. You get money, then you get so many other things. All other things will follow. So all material enjoyment, all the things can be purchased with money. Something is needed, So why people are working very hard? Several times it is discussed, people work very hard. The example given, other day we discussed also for the benefit of others who are not there. The example given is that a donkey is working very hard. Usually in the villages, the washerman, dhobi, he keeps donkey. And the donkey carries the load of cloth from the village, his house, dhobi's house, to the dhobi ghat, carrying all the cloth. And at the end of that, the dhobi allows the donkey to eat some grass, which is available on the banks of the river or pond, whatever it is, The dhobi has not cultivated it. He didn't put any hard work to cultivate the grass. It's already there, grass already. And the donkey is going to go and eat, and grass is not going to object anyway. And it is eating little bit grass. And the evening, the dhobi takes all the washed cloth. All day is washing and drying everything. Again puts on back of the donkey, and the donkey comes back home. Again, the dhobi is allowing the donkey to eat little bit grass around his house. That also he has not cultivated anyway. So scripture says that this donkey is very foolish animal. Why? The grass which is available anyway in nature, to get that he is carrying the load. Up and down. Up and down. Which is available anyway. Even without carrying that, he can just walk outside the dhobi's house and he can eat, But he can't. He just carries the load. Heavy load. Morning and evening. I was giving this example in one lecture. One devotee who was in the lecture, he commented, congregation devotee, he commented that the donkey is doing 2 mini shifts. 2 mini shifts. Means half an hour to 1 hour he is carrying the load in the morning, half an hour to 1 hour in the evening. Mini shift, it's not a long shift. But he said, donkey is doing 2 mini shifts and we are doing 2 full shifts. 8 hours a shift. And if donkey is called a foolish animal for doing 2 mini shifts, what to call the people who are doing 2 full shifts? Similar thing, what is available for donkey is available for this also, Somebody don't have to work 16 hours a day to get what? 4 chapati, how many chapatis you can eat? Chapati, rice, dal, itna hi to khayega na. If you earn this much money, you are not going to eat this much actually. That much only you can eat. 4 chapatis, water, rice, dal, sabji, itna hi khayega. Feast hai, aaj feast nahi hai, fasting hai. Kal feast hoga. How much? Is it that Mukesh Ambani is eating 100 kilo rice? He has so much money, he can eat 1,000 kilo rice also is affordable to him. But he can't eat, he can eat only 2 katoris, Sometimes you will find that the fellows, having so much money, they can't even eat actually. So many kinds of disease, ye kha nahi sakta, wo kha nahi sakta, ye kha nahi sakta, ye kha nahi sakta. Sab kuch bana diya. Who will eat? All the servants will eat. In his house there are so many, hundreds of servants actually. They will be enjoying. Arey wah, jai, Mukesh Ambani ki jai. वो खुद नहीं खा पाएगा. The fellow he himself cannot eat so many things, but his servant is enjoying all the things. This is what material world is about. working so hard for money. Then, okay, if somebody doesn't have money, somebody may have followers, janam, they don't have money, but then they follow, oh, I am a very known person, I have 100 followers, I have 1,000 followers. So this is also another impediment. Then, this having many followers also tries to, see, I am so important person, I have got so many people. So this is trying to make the false ego. This is false ego. For ego, ego, yourself, you know. False ego, which is not. You are not that. I am such and such person. What? You means what? If you refer to the spirit soul, yes, you are servant of Krishna. If you identify like that, that is fine. If one identifies with his material possessions, either money, I am rich man, I am rich man. Ego, false ego. I have so many followers. That is another impediment. Sometimes more followers means more trouble. Because they will do all kinds of nonsense, you will have to take responsibility actually. It is not that follower means, no, you got it and that's all. It is reciprocal, no? The pride that you have, having more followers means any nonsense happens also, it will come and affect you. Even spiritually speaking, spiritual master, disciple, even the disciple becomes a nonsense, spiritual master will be affected actually. Because responsibility, service, responsibility, they all come together. It's not that he can only accept the service, not responsibility. Disciple means he is serving the Guru, no? So you accept the service means you will accept the responsibility of him also. Na sundarim. All these things are connected actually. Money, what for money? Then you want to enjoy. There are different kinds of enjoyment. You can enjoy by eating. Eating is one sense enjoyment. You can hear nice music, go to the cinema theater, nice music, nice seeing something, going for some vacation, sightseeing, different kinds of enjoyment. Na sundarim. Here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, I don't want beautiful woman also. So, different objects. For example, if you see Rasgulla can satisfy which sense? Eyes? No, looking nice, very nice. So I'll keep it on the table as my some decorative item. So I got Rasgulla. It's not for eyes. If you have flowers, it's a different thing. There are two that will come. So the Rasgulla means it can satisfy your one sense, right? If you have flower, it can be satisfying to your nose and eyes also. Sometimes nice looking. You can keep it. Flower vase bana. Small bhi aayega. That also will come. Like that, there are various objects giving different pleasure to our senses, different senses. The woman can be considered object of sense gratification for the man. Not necessarily supposed to be object, but then that is the way it is working. So, the woman can give satisfaction to all the five senses. We will not go into details of that. Brahmacharis. More dangerous, So, having a beautiful wife is another troublesome thing because attachment will increase. Attachment. So it is considered the knot, material entanglement. So many the entanglement of rasgulla can be very easily overcome actually. Suppose you are very attached to rasgulla, for example. Kitna खाएगा? Sometimes devotees used to have a competition. How many rasgullas you can eat? Kitna खाएगा? Kitna समय खाएगा? When you become older and older, for example, naturally, so much you can't eat. Digestion होता नहीं. पहला मैं बहुत खाता था, अभी नहीं खाता. The sense gratification is one thing, doing it is one thing, and the thought of sense gratification is another thing. Thinking about enjoyment, desiring to enjoy, desiring to enjoy is in the mind. Suppose I have a desire to eat rasgulla. So I am a young man, 20 years old. When you are very young, anything you can digest actually. Feast पूरा खाएगा फिर भी कुछ प्रॉब्लम नहीं रहेगा. पनीर सब्जी लाओ और कुछ प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. When you become old, theoretically we can imagine the senses become weaker. Your digestion capacity becomes weaker. Your eyes capacity to see becomes weaker. You have to put spectacles. Then your ears, you keep on hearing very loud sound, even if it is kirtan. Down. Then slowly you'll find that, क्या बोल रहा है? अच्छा. All these senses, they become weaker and weaker when you grow old. That is nature's law. You can't do anything about it. So in the beginning, if you had a very strong desire for enjoying something, once your senses have become weak, you can't even enjoy. Now what you can do about it? ठीक है, वो तो खा नहीं सकता, क्या करेगा? नहीं, अभी नहीं खाएगा. रसगुल्ला नहीं चाहिए. Digestion नहीं होता है. So the attachment for different sense objects can become less and less once your senses become weaker and weaker. So when you become old, the desire for all these things will slowly chala jata. But the desire in the mind does not go away. Desire in the mind, if the mind is not cultivated, the mind is not given proper siksha, manas siksha, to how to not to be indulging in the sense gratification, the desire remains there. You may not be able to enjoy, but the desire is there. It is said that what is sweet in the beginning becomes bitter in the end. And what is bitter in the beginning is sweet. Why? How it is? कैसा होता है? What is sweet? Enjoyment, sense gratification, it is very sweet, But then at the end you will not be able to enjoy, and then your mind wants it actually. Mind wants it. I want to enjoy, Especially the attachment to the opposite sex. Maybe an old man, but you don't know what is in his mind going on. When you want to enjoy, but you don't have the facility to enjoy, then it becomes like a pain for you. Bitter. I want to enjoy, but I can't, I want to enjoy, I can't. Impatient, mind become disturbed. Then at that stage you have to go for stress management. It's better to go for stress management in the choice than in the end, Obviously, total training. In the beginning, naturally you are attracted to the sense object. Then you are abstaining from enjoying. It's like bitter, It's like, so nice things, but you can't. No, I don't want to. This is tapasya. The sadhus, when they go to Himalayas, what? It's not a vacation. Sometimes we go to Himalaya for vacation, Kashmir, now it is snowing. Yeah, we are going there. They are not going there to do tapasya. It's pleasure, Oh, how snow is falling, we want to see, jada. That is tapasya. But people, sadhus are not going there to do fun there. Tapasya. Naturally, you want to enjoy certain things, you give it up. It's bitter. So when the mind is trained in that way, giving up those which are naturally attracted to you, then towards the end, it becomes natural for you. That doesn't disturb you. When it cannot disturb you when you are young, it is not going to disturb you at the end. So when the mind is so peaceful, then you can peacefully chant Hare Krishna. That is pleasure. By the time your consciousness will be already pure, your consciousness is already pure, then when you are chanting the holy names, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, you can relish the names of Krishna. Which is what? Bitter? Names of Krishna? Huh? Bitter है? करेला लगेगा? नेक्टर. अच्छा, मैं सोचा करेला करके बोल रहा हूँ. कृष्ण अमृत, कृष्ण नामामृत. So, when the mind is cultivated, hey, don't get attracted. If it is getting attracted, what to do? झाड़ू और चप्पल रखने का. If it is, mind is out of control, mind is going out of control, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, keep jadu and chappal handy, very nearby. उसको थोड़ा अर्चना करने का, सुबह एक अर्चना, शाम को एक अर्चना, मंगल अर्चना and सायना अर्चना. So this will help. Meaning, it's not physical. It's meaning that you tell the mind, rascal, why are you going here? Insult. Beating with your jadu or beating with a chappal means insulting a person. It may not be really making any harm. It's not harmful. Suppose कोई चप्पल से मार दिया. The hurt of being beaten by chappal is more than real physical hurt actually, isn't it? Suppose a young boy does some mischief to a girl. Don't have to, that no, we are not. Our boys are not, other boys may do. Then बोलेगा, oh, that girl has beaten him with a chappal. What क्या? चप्पल से मारा बोलेगा. क्यों चप्पल से मारा है? Chappal is something which is worn on the feet, lowest part of the body it is serving. So it is the most. Chappal is another humble entity. So a chappal is not going to hurt a person. But then the insult of being beaten by chappal, which is more, because people don't want to be humble, People want to be arrogant. So such an arrogant person's ego can be hurt by being beaten by a chappal. Usko maar, chappal se maar kaya. Very insulting. Insult the mind, rascal, what are you doing? The holy names are power packed and you are not able to chant this properly. Beat him. Chant. Don't mind you are going there, don't go there, sit here. So when you keep on training the mind in this way, then mind slowly gets used to beating, ये जाएगा तो मारेगा ही, अच्छा नहीं जाएगा. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, I don't want these things. I don't want money. I don't want followers. I don't want, beautiful woman, more entangling. The entanglement with woman means it is lifelong entanglement. As I was mentioning, your entanglement with the rasgulla can be easily overcome. But entanglement with the woman is not going to be overcome very easily. Knot becomes very tight. And the knot of heart, Hridaya Granthi Mahu, it is called Hridaya Granthi, it's a knot of heart. If you try to, unknot it, you try to untangle it, entanglement, untangle, you try to loosen it, very tight, you try, it's not happening. What to do? Scissor abhi mil gaya. The sword of knowledge, cut it. No other way actually, if you want to get out of it. If it is too tight knot, nothing can do about it, cut it. So, that can be cultivated when one tries to understand this from the beginning, so that one does not get into this entanglement. Kavitam va jagadisha kam. Kavita, one wants to be a great scholar, so to say. Great scholar. Oh, he's a great scholar. Oh, really? This is another kind of entanglement. Being a scholar, having money, having followers. But Sri Chaitanya Prabhu says, these are all actually burden on the ego. These are all something which can make a person intoxicated. Kunti Maharani says, Janmaishwarya Shrutashvibir Yatamana Matha Puman Naivarhapati Datum Vai Tvam Akinchana Gocharam. Intoxication is bad. The intoxication could be a physical intoxication that makes your physical body intoxicated, and there are different other kinds of intoxications. Janma, one is born in a very high family. Aishwarya, again Dhanam and Aishwarya, wealth. Shrutashvibir, one becomes a very great scholar. Kavita, one is having opulences, beauty, etc. All these things, Kunti Maharani says, can be intoxicant. Intoxication to what? Intoxicant to your mind and ego, which can make a person arrogant. Somebody is rich man, he'll be always thinking, I am a rich man, I can buy this. I am a very famous man, yes. All these things make the person to actually forget his original constitutional position. This makes a person to identify himself with that opulence and his body. That opulence actually belongs to the body. So it actually brings him to the level of the body. Rich man, I am rich, he says. Now what is that I am rich? Who is that rich person? It is actually that richness belongs to what? It belongs to the body. And once you are dead and gone, you are not going to take one penny of it to the next life. You are not going to take one penny of it to the next life. So these opulences, so-called material opulences, make the person to identify himself with the body. Whereas, as long as you are identifying with the body, there is no way you can taste the nectar of the holy name of the Krishna. It's not possible. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because of which he says that these are all the impediments for me to cleanse my heart. These are all the impediments for me to clean my consciousness. If I don't clean my consciousness, I am not going to release the holy name of Krishna. I am not going to. So if I have to do that, this is impediment, so I will put it aside. That is the point here. If one gives away attachment for all these things, then one can actually render devotional service without any motivation. Ahaituki, unmotivated devotional service. Within devotional service also sometimes one could have certain motivations. Even that could be an impediment in Krishna consciousness. Even that could be an impediment. One may be practicing devotional service and thinking that if I do that, I may get this. Outside, we are doing that and getting some material thing, that is entanglement, that is clear. But within Krishna consciousness, practicing Krishna consciousness, still having some kind of desires, some kind of motivation, that also, it may be like, you have removed a major portion of the dust accumulated on the mirror of consciousness, only one layer is remaining. Even one layer is remaining, you can't still have the effect of mirror, It has to be removed, that also. So in that way, one actually tries to do unconditional, unmotivated devotional service, which can make our progress in Krishna consciousness faster. We have to see that this most valuable gift of Krishna consciousness, with the wonderful names which are packed with the Krishna's full potency, is with us, and we are doing something, but we are not able to relish the nectar of Krishna's names. How long we can go on and on like that? If I am not able to relish after so long, then we should introspect and see that, hey, wait a minute, what am I doing? Why am I not able to advance in Krishna consciousness? It is very important to advance. Growth in Krishna consciousness. Growth is the nature's law. Even the tree is growing always. It doesn't say that for some time I won't grow, You are growing always. Time is not stopping, You will be 10 years old after 10 years. 10 years more old after 10 years. You will be 20 years more after 20 years. You're not going to stop. Body is not, this is nature's law. But what about growth in Krishna consciousness? If we say that, no, we are stagnant, we are at that level, okay. One should not be satisfied with some advancement in Krishna consciousness. Full. When is that full? When we are able to, when we chant the names of Krishna. When we chant the names of Krishna, we actually release Krishna's nectar. It's Amritam, Krishna, Nama Amritam. Amritam means nectar. Mrityu means death. Amrityu means deathless. Ever increasing. When can I get that? When can I get that? So when one sincerely and seriously desires for it and follows Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Shikshashtakam, in which the Lord is teaching us how we can engage in Krishna consciousness so that we can perfect our Krishna consciousness in this lifetime. The process is given, and most valuable process, easiest to process, it's readily available, and this can be completed in this lifetime also. Whether we are going towards that goal or not should be asked by each one of us to ourselves. No point in postponing it for next lifetime, even not one lifetime. We don't know what. This lifetime, we have got this valuable opportunity, most valuable opportunity, most valuable gift, and utilize that gift to make our life successful. So when we do that, we can actually go back home, back to Godhead, and engage in eternal service of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Radha and Krishna, and make our life successful. Make this human form of life meaningful. Otherwise, you can do so many things, whatever we can do. But at the end of the day, it is going to become meaningless. So in this way, on this auspicious occasion of the appearance of Lord Chaitanya, we try to make our Krishna conscious process more serious, taking the instruction of Lord Chaitanya, and make sure that we do our best to get the best result. There is no scarcity of resources available. Whatever is needed, it is available. It's only our desire to be engaged in the proper attitude so that we can actually make our heart clean, which is contaminated over a period of millions and millions of lifetimes. Now we got an opportunity to clean in one lifetime all the dust accumulated in million lifetimes. How great it is. So let us meditate upon Lord Chaitanya's mercy, pray on this auspicious occasion. We pray to Gaur Nitai, Nityananda Prabhu and Gauranga Mahaprabhu, both are very merciful, to give them, pray to them for mercy upon us, so that we can be engaged sincerely and seriously in Krishna consciousness to make our life successful. We'll stop here. Any questions? Comments?
What is the meaning of unmotivated devotional service?
What is the meaning of unmotivated devotional service? Devotional service we are doing to Krishna. If you think that this is my service to Krishna, and why it is? Because it is my duty. This is my duty to serve Krishna, so I am doing it. Exactly like a mother is taking care of the child, isn't it? Not only human being, every living entity actually. It is nature. It's nature. Nobody goes and gives lesson for how to take care of baby to a mother. Don't have to actually. Which living entity is getting any lesson? It's something natural actually. So it is the mother thinks that this is my duty to serve this baby. Because the baby is completely dependent on me, I have to serve. This is duty. Isn't it? In the same way, a devotee serves Krishna thinking this is my duty. Jivera Swarupoy Nityara Krishna Das. This is my duty, I am Krishna's servant. This is my duty, I am serving it. Whereas, if suppose you are working in a company and you are also serving there, why you are serving? Suppose you get a job in Infosys. So you are going to do 1 month your job, you are doing it. Why you are doing job to Infosys? It is your duty, right? It is your duty to serve Infosys? Huh? Huh? You are serving so that your services are compensated with a salary. So you are serving because you get a salary. They say that please come and serve Infosys, as a voluntary service. ठीक है, उधर क्या जाना है? इससे अच्छा हरे कृष्ण मंदिर जाके सर्विस करेगा. It is not your duty, it is a contract between you and Infosys that I will give this much time to you and you give me this much money to me. This is called business, trade. You go to a shop, you give money and you take a commodity. Exchange, you give and take. If you try to give something with the motivation of taking something, that is trade. If you go to Krishna and you say that, I will offer you this, please you make sure I get this back, something in return, then that is motivated devotional service. Unmotivated means even if I will offer you a plate of bhog to you, even if you eat everything in the plate, I don't mind. But if you say, if you are offered, you are so wonderful devotee, and you offered, Krishna starts eating, अरे क्या कर रहे भाई, थोड़ा तो छोड़ो मेरे लिए, भूख लगता है. Don't worry, Krishna is merciful. So, when you do something to Krishna, irrespective of whether you get anything or not, that is called unmotivated. You do it as a duty, matter of duty. This is my duty. It is up to Krishna. Then it comes in Shikshashtakam, which we don't have time to go further. So, that is full surrender. A completely surrendered servant, irrespective of whatever the way master treats him, he just continues his service. That is advanced situation. So doing something without any expectation of return for that particular service is called unmotivated.
Krishna's name as the potency, but you have to know how to withdraw the potency also. No, potency may be there. It may be like coconut. Coconut, उसका अंदर pulp है, पानी है. Huh? You give that coconut to a monkey. Monkey, you think monkey will be able to get the benefit of the coconut? Monkey क्या करेगा उसको? कुछ नहीं. That doesn't mean that coconut doesn't have the potency. Potency is there, but you have to know how to take the potency out by proper way. So, the name Krishna, whether you chant or some outside fellow who has no idea about what is Krishna's name, he may also chant Krishna. Potency is there, but he is not able to, experience that potency. To take out the potency, you need proper instrument. Coconut, खोलने के लिए instrument लगता है. The technique is there. When you open it in the proper way, then you can actually get the benefit. So when it is said that through the parampara, one can actually get the ultimate benefit, because it is not only the name, how to chant the name. Name may be there. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has to teach, how to chant it, step by step. Rules and regulation. So it will not have potency in the sense that somebody who will be having the name of Krishna and he will be chanting, but he may not be following the rules and regulation that is needed to achieve the result. And that will not be available to him when he will get the benefit. He will not get the benefit. He will be like a monkey handling the coconut. Whereas the acharyas, they train the devotee in the proper way so that the requirement for relishing the name will be achieved. And that is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching. That's what Rupa Goswami is teaching. Rupa Goswami is giving Upadeshamrit. Are bhai, take advices. What are the do's, don'ts? You may be having the names. If you don't follow the do's and don'ts, you will not get the result. So in the parampara, these instructions come. Nectar of devotion, nectar of instruction, Rupa Goswami is giving, what are the different things to be done. So unless you go through the process under the guidance of a spiritual master, it will not be possible to relish the names, even though the names are having potency. That is why the mantra, so that spiritual master knows what kind of mantra to be chanted. Krishna, Rama, Hare is there available. You can also ulta-pulta bhi jod sakta hai usko. But then, Acharya has to come and tell you, like that you chant. So when you chant under the guidance of a spiritual master, and that guidance includes all the do's and don'ts. So those do's and don'ts come along with the mantra. So when you are going to chant the mantra along with the rules and regulations, that is what is going to make you to advance in Krishna consciousness and make you to qualify to taste the names of Krishna. That practice. That is why it is said that the mantra should be received in the sampradaya. It cannot be just manufactured. So these are go in a package, combo package, it goes along. You may have the name. You know that Hare Krishna Mahamantra is very powerful. But if you chant without following the rules and regulation, without following offenseless chanting, all these things come as a package. When you fulfill all these criteria, then only it is possible to cleanse the heart. You may be chanting the names, but it will not cleanse it. You may be having the coconut. Monkey is having the coconut. It can't actually relish the substance inside the coconut shell. Not possible. That is why one has to be coming in the sampradaya, practicing Krishna consciousness in sampradaya, then only you will get the actual benefit.
Almost a similar question, like Thakur also says that Nama Akshara Bahuhoya, Nama Manihoya. So, like you said, para always the sound is equal to the object.
Sound is equal to the object, how to understand?
Sound is equal to the object.
Okay.
Meaning of para.
Yeah.
Thakur says that the consciousness is not good. Nama Akshara Bahuhoya, Nama Manihoya.
It is above because you don't have the qualification to see that above, then you are seeing only in the material level. Everybody is chanting a Krishna name, even a karmi can also say Krishna, In some time they will chant in a very perfect way also. Krishna. So there are different ways to say Krishna. They may be even perfectly pronouncing the syllables, but still you will not be able to actually relish it simply because it is not accessible. The word Krishna is available in the material vibration level also. Even though, that's what I said, the speciality of spiritual name is that it is available in all the levels. Material sound is not available in other levels. If you go to spiritual world, you can't say that give me one glass of H2O. They don't talk H2O there anyway, so they're not going to be H2O. It's here only. But what is in the spiritual, the name spiritual is available in the material level also. That is what makes it possible for the conditioned soul to practice Krishna consciousness and go to spiritual level. The practice has to be applicable in this level also, otherwise you can't practice. That is Krishna's mercy. The Krishna's mercy is that he makes his own transcendental name, which is part of spiritual domain, to be available in the material domain. That is his mercy. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes and opens up the door for the treasure house of the holy name of the Lord. If that is not applicable, then nobody can go back to Godhead actually. You tell me how you can't chant the names of Krishna, you don't know about Krishna. What you will do to go back to Godhead? For a person who is in the conditioned state, to go to the spiritual level, the process has to start from material level, the process, and this is the easiest way. And Krishna makes the name of himself available in that way, so that by chanting the holy names, by associating with devotees, by purifying consciousness, and the teachings come always, do's and don'ts along. So by doing sincerely, one actually elevates his consciousness from the material level to spiritual level. That is the entire program of Krishna consciousness, and that is the mercy of the Lord, to make his transcendental name to be available in the material domain. Yes?
Teaching of humility. In one book I read that humility doesn't mean considering oneself to be most fallen. And also, how can we make sure that in our daily dealings we are trying to develop the quality of
humility? Means you have certain quality by means of which you are recognized by others, by means of which others give even respect to you, but you don't utilize that. You say that, I am not to be recognized like that. A humility for a very rich man, for a rich man, could be that he sits along with his other people who are not his peer and sits and eats. He goes to the canteen and eats. A powerful man doesn't have to go and then he sheds that a humility for a politician, maybe not to have the lal batti in the car. Lal batti hai to recognition aa jata. No, I don't want to be recognized. You can be recognized, you have certain criteria for that, still you shed away that criteria. That is humility. If you exercise that, then you are a normal person, ordinary. Humility for a very rich man is to wear a very simple cloth. That would be humility. Maybe he can afford a very rich, very expensive cloth, but then he just comes with a normal cloth. That could show. So there are several things like that. So you take a very low profile, ordinary, and not utilize the extra quality that you have. When you say that, that is humility. It is not just humility means external thing, it should be coming from inside also. Externally, suppose one exhibits humility, but the internal exhibition will come in terms of how he acts in different situations. Generally, he may be very, no, Prabhu, I am, your humble servant, I am your humble servant, Prabhu, humble servant. But at some times when certain things happen, then you show your natural, qualities. So every situation, it is not just more. It should be the same qualities exhibited in very difficult situation. Easy situation is okay. When everything is fine, you are exhibiting humility. Prabhu, I am your humble servant. Very difficult situation. At the time also you can act, not just saying, acting. That is important. Very difficult. I am not saying that it's just like very easy thing to do, but then you know what is the target, what is the goal. So you have to try. Pray for the mercy. Try, keep trying. By trying, you may even fail sometimes, but keeping trying on and on, slowly you may succeed. That is the idea. That is the idea. What is that?
How it is possible more tolerant and humble than like tree and grass? Means they are conditioned to be like that. How it is possible for us?
That is a tough task. Certainly, a tree is already tolerant. How to be more tolerant than the tree? That is Vaishnava. Yeah, Vaishnava is more than the tree. Pure Vaishnava. If one is a pure devotee of the Lord, then you can see the qualities manifested. Haridas Thakur was beaten up in the marketplace. What did he do? Huh? So the tree is also, suppose for example, chopped. Have you ever heard that tree is praying to the Supreme Lord saying that this person is ignorant, please, give him some benefit? Heard of that? Tree remains neutral. Okay, I will not hit this person. I will not make my another branch to fall on his head. He is cutting one branch, he will not make, hey, ऐसा मारेगा तुमको. वो तो करेगा नहीं, ठीक है, काटने का तो काटो. But he doesn't pray to the Lord saying that he is an ignorant person, please forgive him, What did Haridas Thakur do? He could have remained that, okay, मारने का तो मारा भाई, चलो ठीक है. But he goes one step ahead. That is more tolerant. He says that he is ignorant fellow, this fellow, please, my dear Lord, give him some mercy. That is. So, if one's consciousness is 100% pure, then you can see how the person can exhibit these qualities. It is not something artificial. I try to understand. It is not theoretical. It's practical. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not telling something very, something theoretically which cannot be achieved. It can be. If it is not achieved, why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has talked about it? It is possible. That requires a lot of effort. I am not telling that tomorrow you can be more tolerant than the tree, but slowly. Process. It's a process. But we have to make sure we are in the process progressing. That is more important. Somebody may be faster, somebody may be slower, but then we should be moving in the right direction. That is important. No, it's a tough thing. I'm not telling that it's something very easy, tough. But then, what is to be done. That's the thing.
It said that a person knowingly or unknowingly chant or hear the Mahamantra or name of Krishna, he will be benefited. And now you are saying that the process required, it's required process. You are giving the example of nut and monkey. Without the monkey know the process, how he enjoy the nut. So it is not, seems like
The name, there will be always benefit. Even if somebody, the question is if somebody chants holy names, even unknowingly, they are supposed to get some benefit, it is said. Then how, what is that benefit? What is that benefit? That benefit is not relishing the nectar of the holy name. That benefit you will never get. You will get some benefit, further benefit of meeting some devotee, so further benefit of getting some association of devotee, some benefit of some ajnana sukruti, some benefit of different opportunity for further advancement in Krishna consciousness. So this can lead towards that. But the real benefit will come only when one actually follows the rules and regulations and cleanses the consciousness. Don't think that anybody, in the street, hey, Haribo, Hare Krishna log ja raha hai. He's not going to become a pure devotee because of that chanting. Hey, Taklu log ja raha hai, ye log Hare Krishna mandir ja raha hai. Ye wo Hare Krishna bol diya, wo pure devotee ban gaya. He's not going to become pure devotee simply by saying fun, making fun. But because he said Hare Krishna, then he will get the benefit of maybe another day Hare Krishna devotee will come and give him a peda. And by eating that peda, Hare, acha taste lag raha hai, chalo let me go to the temple. That may lead him to meet another devotee who may give him a sweet samosa. Promotion to milta hai na. That will make him to meet another devotee to give him Bhagavad Gita. That will make him to read Bhagavad Gita and Prabhupada's mercy may come. That may make him to chant Hare Krishna now more organized way. So it's all long process. Some benefit will be there. But simply by chanting in a funny way, you are not going to go back to Godhead. Benefit doesn't mean there are different levels of benefit, Some benefit for further opportunity. That's what it is. But if you want to go back to Godhead, then you'll have to bring instrument for opening the coconut. That is a different thing. There is a benefit of using somebody will say that, what do you mean, we are already using the coconut, how you are using, we are playing like a ball. Monkey is using, what's your problem? He is playing, 2 monkeys are playing, That is not the real benefit of coconut actually. That you can do with stone also, you can do with so many other things. The real coconut thing is you have to open it up and take the pulp out, and that's the thing. That monkey cannot get at any point of time. It may be playing like a ball, it may be taking it as an instrument and breaking something, It may hit another person also. Those are all not the actual benefit of coconut. The real benefit comes, you go in the appropriate procedure, you go in the, following the rules and regulations, then you'll get it. Some benefit is insignificant. You should try to get the best benefit out of it. That is important. For that one has to follow the rules and regulations and follow the acharyas and follow the process appropriately. One needs to? Yes. He will take him. If he decides to take. Prabhupada, if a pure devotee wants to take some people, they can do it actually. Pure devotee is like, pure devotee goes to Krishna and says that, inko bhi mera saath chhod dena. Sometimes you are breaking the queue, you are going with some very important person, wo bhi mera saath mein hai. But that is like an exceptional case. Exceptional case. This is, Prabhupada says, to encourage the devotee to become, fixed up. Prabhupada also said, you catch hold of my dhoti, you can go back. But then we should be able to catch also dhoti, Itna dur gaya, kidhar dhoti pakdega? So, that is all falls under exceptional case. Whereas, when we put ourselves where we should stand, we put under normal case, not exceptional case. And it's like, Prabhupada gives the example, if you want a PhD, there is a normal way of doing PhD, right? B.Tech, M.Tech, PhD. Sometimes you will find somebody who has not even entered the college, he is given a honorary PhD, D.Lit. And he can also put Dr. so-and-so. right? And that is little exceptional. That may happen or not happen. It's all of the grace of somebody else actually. The university, the chancellor, this one, that one. It is not that you can say, don't you see that I have done so much work, don't you think I should get a PhD? Nowadays people may say also, that's a different thing. That is upon mercy of somebody. If they recognize you, they give you, you can take. But it is not for sure. You may get it or you may not get it also. So if we want surely to get a PhD, that's a regular process. B.Tech, M.Tech, everything is done. And then there is no problem. You can get PhD at 25 years also. But that PhD, you may have to wait up to 75 years and you may think, अरे मेरे को PhD मिलने वाला कोई दिया नहीं अभी तक. अरे दे यार जल्दी मैं मरने वाला हूँ. If you don't get it, you'll be thinking about PhD. Then maybe, I don't know, you'll become a next time born in a university. Depending upon what qualified you are. In a research lab, you may be born somewhere. You'll be connected to a PhD scholar maybe. It's not for sure. So in that way, exceptions cannot be applied for normal cases. When we place ourselves, we may be exceptional also, but we cannot take it for granted we will become exceptional. We will become one among them. So normal case, we should, humility is, even though you may be qualified, you think that you are less qualified. Arrogance means you are not even qualified, you think you are more qualified. So we cannot keep thinking that, I will be exceptional person. After all, it is me, I should be exceptional, so I may get exception. Like that, if we keep thinking, we may or may not get. So we should apply normal rules, that is safe. It's safe, you safely want to get things safe, so we can't take the unsafe route for that.
So similar connected question, now if a pure devotee decides to take someone, but still his heart has to be cleansed, so will that happen somehow or like?
See, it is always like this. Pure devotee may not, he may also take and make sure the fellow's heart is clean also. He's not going to take some dirty fellow and tell to Krishna that, excuse me. I said, wo bhi thoda, samjha. It's not like, it's not like Mukesh Ambani is going to tell that, he will go to the Barack Obama's party and say that ये मेरा driver इनको भी तोड़ देना, मेरा पीछे रहेगा. वो नहीं हो सकता है. वो करेगा भी नहीं. If he wants, he can try to do some manipulation, but why is he going to do that? So when pure devotees take, by their touch only will become pure also. There are different criteria. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the other day we were discussing, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he told Amoha, this heart is the seat of consciousness, seat of Lord Krishna to sit. And you are keeping it so contaminated. And how can Krishna will come and sit? It is seat of Krishna. So Lord Chaitanya kept his hand on his chest. By touching his chest, Lord Chaitanya cleansed his heart. It became so pure. Then he jumped, chanting, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Okay? And we are sitting and chanting itna lamba, kuch hota hi nahi. Then Lord Chaitanya in one moment, he completely cleansed the heart of Amoga and he became pure. He was jumping and he was experiencing ecstasies of chanting the holy names. So when pure devotee desires to take you back home, back to Godhead, quote unquote, he will make sure the requisite criteria are fulfilled also. By his association you will become pure also. There are so many things. How it is going to happen, fine. But it all depends upon the pure devotee deciding to take you. For that you have to qualify also. Unless you are something extraordinary, why is he going to take you anyway?
So generally, Lord never introduces the free will, and first it is through devotee's mercy that we enter into devotional service. So, but in case of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he may directly have given people, he is a Lord, so without association of his associates, he never gave or like.
Never gave what?
In the sense, he may have introduced some people to devotional service even without some devotee intervening
No, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, very present people became devotees. No, when they saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they were in ecstasy.
So, but that seems to conflict with this because Lord doesn't never interferes with our free will.
It's not, see, free will is something and being inspired. Lord did not force you to see Him, That is your free will. Having decided to see Him, then He is inspiring you. How He is interfering in your free will? Free will means you desiring to do an activity. Lord did not come and tell, मैं कल आ रहा हूँ, सब लोग मेरे को देखना चाहिए. Then He will be interfering in the free will. He is coming, you go and see Him, then what? By seeing you become Krishna conscious, He is not interfering in your free will. On the other hand, you exercised your free will out of some good fortune to see Lord Chaitanya, and by that, good fortune, you became Krishna conscious. Somewhere you have to get some good fortune to become Krishna conscious, Either you may go through devotees, you may go so many ways you can become. So Lord doesn't interfere in free will.
It's about fault finding. If some devotee is finding faults in some other devotee, we are there. He's blaspheming or finding mistakes in that song. At that time, what reaction should be? And because if we tell him Prabhuji stop, go there to find faults, we are also finding fault in this devotee. Is that fault finding good?
And somebody will come and find fault with that, so it's a chain reaction.
How can we
Fault finding is not a very good thing to do, because sometimes the finding fault, it may not actually fault, you may see it as a fault also, which may end up in committing some offense. So even if, who should find fault? You should be very clear. The superior can find fault with the inferior. A teacher can find fault with the student. You cannot tell the guru, hey, don't do this mistake, My dear guru, you are supposed to be free from fault finding. You are finding fault with me? Somebody has to find fault, otherwise who will rectify you? Those who are in the position of finding fault, a father can find fault with the son. A teacher, guru can find fault with the student. So if you are in the position of a superior administrative officer, can find fault with the subordinates. And when he finds the fault, he can rectify that fault by proper education. It's not just a question of just finding the fault. How to rectify it, you have to give. You have to give information. So in that way, a senior devotee, when he sees a junior is committing some kind of mistake, then he may very nicely tell him, not that, hey, why you did it, not that way, but you'll have to give a solution to how to come out of it also, because he is concerned. He is under his care. A father may be finding fault his son because for his betterment, It's not to put him down. It is to make him better. The same way, if we see that some of our peer, some of our friend is finding fault, the best thing, doing mistake, the best thing is to report to his superior. I saw you, suppose in the choice, you find that one devotee is doing something wrong with another devotee, then you can report it to our devotee in charge of the counselor, devotee in charge of the choice, such and such thing happened. Then he may speak to him and rectify the situation, so that the mistake is rectified and you are not in trouble. But if you have told him directly, he is not going to take it anyway, and he will retaliate back, and you will only become his enemy. Both of you will become enemy of each other. So in that way, if somebody is doing fault, there has to be somebody to do fault. There has to be somebody to find fault, and that should be the person who has authority to find fault. And that person should not misuse the authority, but he should use the authority to rectify the fault also. That is necessary.
So what if the person is not authorized to find fault?
Huh?
What if some of our peers is finding fault in some other peer in front of us?
You should report to both faulty person as well as fault finder to the superior. Then he will, instead of handling one problem, he has to handle two problems. How to not do some fault, how to not find fault with another person doing fault. Somebody has to rectify, and then that person should have authority to do that. Simple.
The heart, that is equal to that mind only or something. Heart is also a separate thing. When we say about cleaning the heart,
Okay.
is it like mind only cleaning the heart?
Not mind only, mind, intelligence and false ego, and then consciousness. Heart it is said because heart is the seat of consciousness. Heart is the seat of the spirit soul. So spirit soul's nature is consciousness. So when it is said cleansing the heart, it means cleansing the consciousness. Chitta. That's the quality of soul. So that has to be cleansed. To clean that, mind has to be pure also. So entire subtle body is one unit. Mind, intelligence, false ego and consciousness, these four put together is subtle body. So cleansing means it is cleansing of all these things. All these things. So heart means it's not physical cleansing the heart. It's not that you have to do a open heart surgery and then bleach it with something and then you are not going to do the physical cleansing. This is subtle. Mind, intelligence, false ego and consciousness. And consciousness is the actual thing. That is Cheto Darpana Marjanam, Chetana. Chetana means consciousness. Now it is contaminated. When the consciousness is pure, other connected things also becomes pure. Obviously they are interrelated. Mind, intelligence, false ego and consciousness, they are distinguished by the way they function. They are all same thing. This is also stainless steel. इसका अंदर कुछ ये भी स्टेनलेस स्टील, इसका अंदर भी कुछ स्टेनलेस स्टील हो सकता है. This is making one function, this is one function, this is another function. Functionally they are different, by substance they are same. नहीं, ये भी स्टेनलेस स्टील. They are stainless steel by substance, but by function they are different. The same way, mind, intelligence, false ego and contaminated consciousness, by substance they are same, they are subtle. By function they are different. They are distinguished by their function. So mind and conscience, they are not very different. The mind functions thinking, willing, feeling. Consciousness functions as experiencing. Otherwise, not different. Enduring is required, but endure by itself cannot be success, You have to get the result. So what you are saying, enduring is enough. You are, okay, enduring what? Enduring to cleanse your consciousness, let us say. Enduring to purify our consciousness. We are trying. We leave it like that? We should try in such a way that you achieve it. Your goal should be achieved, Success means your goal is achieved. You should try to succeed. On the way, if you have to do dhanam, janam, all these things are coming, then you'll have to use your intelligence to appropriately engage them in Krishna's service. Yukta Vairagya, Falgu Vairagya. You cannot reject it blindly, something that can be used in service of Krishna. You cannot accept blindly something which is harmful for your Krishna consciousness. You'll have to use all this intelligence. How to be remaining in the water and not made wet by water. Expertise. Lotus leaf. You are using all of them, but then using it for Krishna. Yes, good. But you can't be putting yourself in the illusion that it is all for Krishna and using for something else. Risky. So balance has to be made. Balance has to be made. Dheere dheere. Sometimes you may start with misusing it, then you learn a little bit, less you misuse. That's why long rope of our whole lifetime is given to us. So we may make mistake, but then we rectify it. End result has to be achieved. If you put so much endeavor, but result is not achieved, that is not success. You tried, that's all. Unsuccessful attempt. Good, better than no attempt. Maybe that will help you to attempt another thing next lifetime and be successful also. Endeavor should be in the right direction and towards a particular goal, and we should put as much effort as possible to advance in that goal, towards that goal.
Krishna says to Arjuna, even if you die in a battle, you are fighting for the dharma. Even if you fight and die, even your side will not be victorious, but you will enjoy the pleasures of heaven. Means he is endeavoring, but even if he is not successful, means in terms of victory, but he will enjoy the heaven.
So if you are attempting to cleanse your consciousness, if you are not successful, what you will get? No, what you will get? You are attempting to cleanse your consciousness, you are not successful, क्या होगा? Huh? Is it okay with you? Don't apply that condition with the Arjunas. In the case of a Kshatriya, try to understand what is the dharma of Kshatriya. In the case of Kshatriya, he is a Kshatriya, right? He should do his duty. What is his duty? To fight. He came to the battlefield. For a Kshatriya to come to the battlefield and not fight and go back is a shameless situation. Only shameful person can do that. So he is telling you, do your duty. He was telling that, how can I be happy? Try to understand. He is answering the question, how can I be happy? There will not be any happiness because all these people will be dead. How can I be happy after these people are dead? That is the question of argument, so to say, of Arjuna. And Krishna is replying, Hare bhai, if you win the battle, you will get the kingdom, you can enjoy. Okay? But even if you lose the battle, a Kshatriya fighting in the battlefield, dying there, he is promoted to heavenly planet. So even if you die, you will go to heavenly planet and you will enjoy. So happiness is there if you win or lose. That is for that particular case of executing the dharma of a Kshatriya. उसको लेकर के सब जगह पर लगाएगा तो कैसा होगा? Now what is your dharma? Kshatriya is the dharma of the body. That specific dialogue is Kshatriya dharma में क्या करना है? Swadharma. Your Swadharma is that you have to fight like that. Because Krishna wanted him to fight the war anyway. He had a plan for it. That's a different thing. Okay. Now what is our dharma? Jeever Swarupa Hoy Nityara Krishna Das. Okay? So our dharma is to serve Krishna. So you execute that dharma. And when you execute the dharma, you execute with all the full, in that execution of dharma, if you are successful, you are going to go back to Godhead. So in this dharma, if you are not successful, no loss, he will be continuing. So continue. Most intelligent person is that he wants to finish in this lifetime only. Why to continue next lifetime? Anybody can give guarantee? कोई गारंटी दे सकता है? कुछ गारंटी मिलेगा? कुछ मालूम नहीं है. So why to take a risk when I don't have the guarantee? I have the guarantee that at least for the time being I am existing in this body. I have facilities for chanting Hare Krishna. I have all the other opportunities for rendering devotional service. So I should use this as much as possible to achieve success in my Krishna conscious practice. This is possible. So why I will underuse the facilities available to me? If I have the facility, I should use it, If I don't have it, that's a different thing. So as much as possible, use every effort to succeed in Krishna consciousness, to purify the consciousness completely, 100%, and go back home, back to Godhead. That should be the goal. And we should be able to put every effort to achieve that goal. Not any other kinds of reasoning, ठीक है थोड़ा मुश्किल पड़ रहा है, मालूम नहीं होएगा कि नहीं होएगा. All these things are, not necessary. That will compromise your determination to achieve the goal in this lifetime. As soon as you think that, इतना मुश्किल, देखो, that fellow is doing chanting for so many years, उनको हुआ नहीं, इनको हुआ नहीं. Let me take it easy. क्या इतना करना क्या जरूरी है? It may not happen to him. It may not happen to him. It may happen to you. Who knows? Can anybody tell that if it has not happened to this fellow, it has not happened to this fellow, it will never happen to anybody else? कोई लिख दिया है क्या? It may not happen to anybody. It may still happen to you. That determination you should have. Whatever happens, I am going to do that. The goal should be to go back home, back to Godhead in this lifetime. If you want to score 100%, if you try for 100%, 100% मिल सकता है, नहीं है तो भी 95 तो मिलेगा. जो 100% ट्राई होने वाला 0% तो कभी नहीं लेगा ना. मालूम नहीं है, होना नहीं चाहिए. नॉर्मल केसेस, एक्स्ट्राऑर्डिनरी केसेस में भी डिफरेंट. Somebody is trying for 100%. Either he may get 100% or 90, 95 आसपास में तो रहेगा ना. If somebody is trying for 30%, 35%, कितना है अभी कितना चल रहा है? 35. Somebody is trying barely for 35, उनको कितना मिलेगा? 100 मिलेगा. Somebody is trying for 35% just to pass the exam. Have you ever heard that fellow got 100% mark? So somebody just थोड़ा थोड़ा चलता है, कभी बैक टू गॉड जा नहीं सकता है. वो रेगुलर डिफरेंस 16 माला हो गया, मेरा गोल अचीव्ड है. अरे ये बिगिनिंग है, ये फर्स्ट स्टेप है. ये स्टेयर केस का फर्स्ट स्टेप में आके बैठ गया, अरे स्टेयर केस तक आ गया ना, बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है. अरे भाई ये तो पहला स्टेप है, ऊपर जाने का है. See, so many people are not even close to staircase. I should be very happy about that. अच्छा इतना ही है, इतना नहीं है. We got to reach the top. So determination to achieve in this lifetime is like, I should get 100%. In that try, even if you are not able to get 100%, you will be surely around somewhere 90s. Then you take next lifetime and complete it, that's not a problem. शुरू में ही बोलेगा मेरे को तो 2-3 लाइफ टाइम के बाद जाएगा ना. अभी ये लाइफ टाइम में मैं ये काम करता हूँ, ये लाइफ टाइम में मेरे को धनम, नेक्स्ट लाइफ टाइम में जन्म, उसका बाद सुंदरी, देन कविता, 5th लाइफ टाइम में जाएगा. हरी बोल. क्या पता किधर पहुँचने वाला है. So determination should be there for 100%, nothing less. Don't be satisfied with anything less. That greed should be there. You should think that more than 100% हो सकता है क्या, ऐसा पूछना चाहिए. 101 चाहिए मेरे को, 120 लेने. If they sometimes 5 questions to be answered, you can even answer 6 questions. There are some exam system. In that you may score 120, then they will finally say 100 only. So you can score 120. So you should try, ज़्यादा करना है. Not that इतना मुश्किल पड़ रहा है. मैं देखा चॉइस में सब लोग इतना मुश्किल उठा रहा है, ये क्या होने वाला है. ठीक है, धीरे धीरे. That is not the right way to look forward in Krishna consciousness. Okay, we will stop here.